Hello everybody, welcome to this Jevero tutorial in which we will take a look at the new and improved layering features that we've put into Jevero 2020.1. So this feature has been discussed, has been reviewed, and we have put significant changes into it that will make work faster and we believe easier and more intuitive. So what you see here is my model, my Jevero model with all the parts and the shell and all that. So what we want to do now is save this model. You see that this is shell. This is more or less what we're going to work on. And so just for you to see that this is the whole model which contains the shell, which comes in mostly all the models made in Jevero. So now we're going to save this model. I'll save as, so I'll create a new file on my desktop. Rhino 6, okay. Layering. So I'll save. And now I'll just close this and create a new file. So I'll simulate the empty Rhino interface. And I'm here with nothing. So what I want to do is go over JPattern parts, the second panel here of the Jevero upper toolbar. And over here, there is the selective import function, selectively import only parts of a model. So through this function, we can import just one part of my previous model, which contains all of them, so that I can get rid of all these parts that I don't need and say import base curves, import part content, select my shell part, and also down here there is a new option to convert to base curves, which means that every margin, every whatever, every other entity of Jevero will be converted so that it will stay as a normal line, because we don't need anything except the baselines for now. So I'll convert. It will tell me by importing parts at baselines, all dependencies and relationships will be lost. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. And what I will import is just my shell. So this is my shell. I have my part here, and I can start getting rid of all the lines I don't like and I don't want. So for example, the axis here, this tree I don't want. I'm hitting delete, so it's very easy. This one, okay, I'll keep this. I'll just, for the sake of seeing better, I'll just delete this one and this one too, just to be a little quicker. So these I can delete, these two, this, the axis over here, I don't need this, and I'll keep just one side of the shoe. So I can delete this. I'm just clicking on the line and hitting delete. That's all I'm doing. So now maybe I can Also delete these, delete. I can also drag my mouse and select them whole. So pay attention, it's always the same type of selection mode, where if you make the selection box here, if you go from left to right, it will select everything inside that box. So in this case, only these two lines that become yellow when they're selected. But if I go from right to left, everything that crosses my selection square will be selected. So like this. If I go from left to right, it will not select. So what I did was drag from right to left like this and delete all these curves. This I don't need. I don't need these. I'll delete this one too. All right, this is fairly simplified. And now I can start working on this. So the command is automatic boundary Boolean. No. So now I've cleaned up my whole model, and I am left with the lines that I've actually used for the layering. So very simplified shell part, just by selecting the line and hitting delete. So right now the command to use, which will have a button by the time this version is released, is auto boundary Boolean. So here you can always type on the command bar auto boundary Boolean. What does this do? When you hit it, it will ask to select the objects you want to identify. So I'll select my whole bunch of lines, right to left. So I'll select everything and hit enter. When I do this, it will automatically create all the boundaries. So all the areas, you see the yellow parts. Excuse me. All these parts are already created, and a part is created as well. So you can see all the parts like this. This is the shell, and then I'll show everything. And this is what we need. From now, we can actually open the layering tool, and we'll see that we'll have all the parts with the default material, and the same interface, but with a new addition, which is the possibility of, first off, clicking and seeing the part and automatically activating to this side, so it's quicker to identify. For example, this. Okay. And second, there's the possibility to use the pick and paint to paint, let's say, inside this area. So if I pick leather, I say okay, I pick the color, so I just change the color to yellow, and then I'll click on the little bucket and paint it by clicking. And here it will update my material page. So I will do this too, and then I'll change to synthetic. So synthetic, I want this and this. And then I'll select by clicking on once with the mouse on textile and select this part, and this ladder 2, let's call it, here. So here you can see that it updates my percentages with the materials. You can, by clicking on the title of the column, you can order by name, by percentage, and by area, which is the same order as the percentage. So I'm left with this little triangle, which is over here because maybe there was a little intersection that I missed. And I'll say ladder. For this, I'll say ladder 2. I don't know exactly where they are, but they are not too influential on the whole outcome of this. And yeah, so this is how you do it. And then you can create a new material way by going up here. So I create a new one and call it material way 2. Okay. And of course it will update with a blank with the default material, and I can do the same but in a different excuse me, in a different way. So I'll do it just different like this. I have my percentages and all. Always these little triangles, but yeah, I can't see them here, so I don't think they will count as much. And yeah, so now we can take a look at this and then this. And if you want to delete or to duplicate, so for example, I have my material way 2, I want to duplicate it and call it material way 3. Hit OK. It will be the same positioning here, but I will change just this. Sorry. Okay. So the way it works is you hit on the name, you click on the name, you click on the bucket, and then you will see the little cursor with the bucket, and you can click it, and this will be a new material way. So we have 3, and now we are going to export. So before we export, just for being complete, this is how you create a new material. So let's call it textile 2 and give it this color here, and then we can update it immediately, and these will not change, so it's become more consistent and clearer and easier. So now we will export the image. I'll just say 1, material way 1. Okay. Is this the one? Yeah, it's the one. And save it. Then I'll do it for this. And I'll say material way 2. Save. And we'll change it over to material way 3. save it, and these are the pictures. And then with this button, with this button here, we will have the document export. So we'll see the options: export current or export all. I'll say all. I'll say in portrait, so the orientation of the page, and I'll say yes, one material away per page, and hit OK. Final report, and hit save. So now we can say OK. It's open. So this is my material way 1, number 2, and 3. These are the images. And then when I open the report here, I will see this this document here. So the material percentages and the various materials that I have applied, and the material weighs 1 for every page. So this is ready to print, and yeah. So this is it. I don't think I missed anything. And yeah,